The terror descended when the life of the Gnome King was taken, uniting the gnomes in solidarity. From Bunda to the very gates of Moria, a vast host of gnomes surged across the land. Thus, the northern lands of Middle-earth witnessed a ruthless campaign as the gnomes exterminated countless thousands of orcs and goblins, seizing one fortress after another. The remaining enemies, orcs and goblins alike, fled from the Misty Mountains to Moria, where Azog himself marshaled them into an army. A palpable rage and thirst for revenge permeated the ranks of the gnome army on the eve of the Battle of Moria. Orders were given amidst the anticipation that hovered between the orcs and gnomes. The gnomes prepared for battle in the shadowed valley, rallying under their banner, forming the vast legion of Moria. The exact number of warriors is not known, so in the coming battle, the figures for both orcs and gnomes will be estimated. The orc army numbered over 15,000. The gnomes, on the other hand, had about 10,000, led by the renowned Troyan, who had previously inflicted devastating defeats. Though wounded, he aligned his army in a singular formation, leaving no reserves. The gnome leader was confident of victory. Never before had the orcs been able to repel the gnomes in battle. Troyan rallied the gnomes behind him and charged towards Azog's advancing orcs. The two armies surged towards each other, and the blaze of battle engulfed every part of the battlefield. Both sides ignored any tactical maneuvers. The strategy was simple: slay the orcs and break through to Moria. Azog must be defeated, but the gnome assault was halted. No breakthrough occurred. Goblins overwhelmed the gnome positions, and suddenly the enemy from the hillside started to push the gnome formation. Troyan led his army to regroup in the nearby woods, hoping to rally and launch a counterattack. However, the woods did not slow down Azog's orcs. Instead, it seemed to invigorate them, pushing them to attack the gnome shields with even greater fury. For hours, orcs and gnomes clashed fiercely, showing no mercy. Thousands upon thousands fell. The losses were colossal on both sides. Yet the onslaught from both parties never weakened. The entire battle was marked by the brutal ferocity of the gnomes, their valiant stand against the orc onslaught. The enemy, in contrast, proved to be too agile, targeting the weakest points in the gnome army's ranks. Throughout the battle, the gnomes lost many outstanding warriors and leaders, but they continued to tear the orcs apart. Amidst the casualties, Troyan's son, Freyr, and Fu, the father of the rams, also fell. The battlefield was set in the forests of Lorien. The thunderous clangs of weapons against shields, the shrieks of orcs and goblins, the haunting calls of the gnome horns, and the relentless chaos of war echoed throughout. It was a slaughter. There's no other way to describe it. By evening, victory still eluded both sides. The orcs, for once, couldn't be driven to flee, a testament to their high morale in this battle. And the gnomes? Think they would run? Never. The gnomes fought valiantly, giving everything, their spirit unyielding to any force. Gnomes, barely able to grip their weapons, still swung their spears and shielded themselves. The orcs had lost their agility and could no longer execute their maneuvers with the earlier efficiency. The tide seemed ready to turn, but Azog's forces still held a numerical advantage. Just when things looked most dire, with the center of the gnome army breached and enemy forces flooding their rear lines, Navolny appeared with his Iron Guard, gnomes from the Iron Hills, numbering around 5,000. These fresh warriors charged into the fray, driving back the beleaguered orcs who were already exhausted from the earlier fighting. The gnomes, rejuvenated by this reinforcement, joined the assault. The leader of the Iron Guard, upon reaching the battlefield's forefront, issued a challenge. Azog, who had been conserving his strength and hadn't personally fought up to this point, accepted the duel. Seizing the opportune moment, Azog struck a fatal blow, breaking the gnome leader of the Iron Guard's neck. Meanwhile, the gnomes had nearly annihilated all the Moria Orcs. Witnessing his force's demise, Azog tried to flee, only to be caught by Dain, son of Nine. In a fury, Dain decapitated Azog. The Orcs were routed. The once great stronghold of Moria was recaptured. It was a monumental victory for Middle-earth's gnomes. Yet many of the surviving gnomes hesitated to settle in Moria, fearing the awakened Balrog. The rest decided to stay. Don't forget to hit the like button and leave a comment. If we get 1,000 likes, I'll release a new Middle-earth cinematic. And if we reach 2,000 likes, I'll put out the biggest cinematic yet. Cheers to Mordor. You might have noticed there's no live stream at the moment, and the channel isn't financially supported. If you can, any help via the link in the description would be appreciated. Thank you. You're the best.